Hi, I'm Alex. This is Oh, That's Why, a podcast about JavaScript, finally making sense. Let's dig in. Picture this. You're debugging. Something's broken. You open the console and you see a wall of text. Function names, file names, line numbers, all stacked on top of each other. At the very bottom, the original error, and you have absolutely no idea how to read any of it. Most developers scroll past that list entirely. Find the error at the top, try to fix it, move on. The rest of it, the stack trace, feels like noise. It is not noise. That list is a map, a precise, ordered record of everything JavaScript was doing at the exact moment something went wrong. If you know how to read it, it tells you not just what broke, but exactly how you got there. The reason most people can't read it? They don't know what's underneath it. They've never thought about how JavaScript actually tracks its own progress through your code. So, when JavaScript is running a function, and that function calls another function, and that function calls another, how does JavaScript know where to go back to when each one finishes? That's what we're finding out today. I want you to picture a stack of plates, not in a cupboard, in a restaurant kitchen. That tall column of plates sitting next to the pass, ready for service. Clean ones come out of the dishwasher and go on top of the stack, one by one. And when a chef needs a plate, they always take from the top. Always. Never the middle, never the bottom, always the top. The plate that went on last is the first one to come off. That's the only rule. Last in, first out. Now, imagine each of those plates has something written on it. A task. A job, something that needs to be done. The kitchen can only work on one plate at a time, the one on top. Whatever is written on that plate, that's what's happening right now. When the task is done, the plate gets removed. The one beneath it is now on top. That becomes the current job. That is the call stack. Every time JavaScript calls a function, it places that function onto the stack, like putting a plate on top of the pile. That function is now the current job. JavaScript works through it. When the function finishes, the plate comes off. JavaScript looks at the plate beneath it, which is the function that called this one, and picks up from exactly where it left off. The stack keeps growing as functions call other functions, and it keeps shrinking as they finish. One function at a time. Last in, first out. That's the whole thing. Here's what's actually under the hood. When you run a JavaScript file, the very first thing that goes onto the call stack is the global execution context. That's the plate at the very bottom. It never leaves while your program is running. Then your code starts executing. When it hits a function call, say a function called greet, it creates a new execution context for that function and pushes it onto the stack. Greet is now the top plate. It's the current job. JavaScript runs through every line of greet. If greet calls another function, say hello, that goes on top too. Say hello is now the top plate. JavaScript runs through say hello completely. Say hello finishes, its plate comes off. Now greet is on top again. JavaScript picks up in greet exactly where it paused. Greet finishes. Plate comes off. Back to the global context. Remember last week's execution context? That room with the whiteboard, the map, the nameplate? Each plate on the call stack is one of those rooms. When you push a function onto the stack, you're building that room. When you pop it off, the room is torn down. The call stack is what manages all those rooms. Which room is active? Which ones are waiting? when each one gets cleaned up. Now here's where it gets interesting. The stack is not infinite. It has a limit. And when that limit is reached, you've heard this one, maximum call stack size exceeded. Stack Overflow. Not the website, the actual phenomenon. It happens when a function keeps calling itself over and over without ever finishing. Each call adds a new plate to the stack. The plates pile up. None of them finish. Eventually, the stack is full, and JavaScript stops everything. The most common cause is recursion without an exit condition, a function that calls itself but never knows when to stop. Every call adds a plate, none of them ever come off, and the stack grows until it can't grow anymore. That error message is JavaScript telling you the kitchen is out of plates. And that stack trace at the start of the episode, that wall of text in the console, that's a photograph of the call stack at the exact moment everything went wrong. Reading it from bottom to top gives you the full story. The bottom is where execution started. The top is where it broke. Now you know how to read it. Let me tell you about the mistakes that follow people around when they don't fully understand this. Ignoring the stack trace is the big one. I did it for years. The error message is up top. Fix it, close the console, done. But that list below the error, gold. It tells you which function called which function, in what order before the crash. If you have a bug that only shows up in certain conditions, the stack trace is how you figure out which path through your code triggered it. Bottom to top. That's the story of how you got there. Recursion without an exit condition is the second one, and this one is sneaky because it looks so clean in theory. Recursion, a function calling itself, is genuinely beautiful when it's done right. The trap is forgetting the moment it should stop. Every recursive function needs a clear condition under which it returns a value instead of calling itself again. Without it, you're not writing elegant code. You're writing a very polite stack overflow. The last one is subtler. Because JavaScript is single-threaded, the call stack can only do one thing at a time. This is why heavy synchronous code can freeze a browser entirely. A big loop, a deeply nested chain of calls. If it takes too long, nothing else can happen until it finishes. No clicks, no interface updates, nothing. This is the entire reason asynchronous JavaScript exists. We'll get there in Season 3. For now, just know that a full call stack means a frozen screen. These aren't edge cases or interview tricks. They show up in real code, in real projects, on real deadlines. And now you'll see them immediately. The call stack is JavaScript's way of never losing its place. Last in, first out. One function at a time. Every error message comes with a map of how you got there, and now you know how to read it. There's a free tool called Loop. You'll find it at latentflip.com/loop that lets you watch the call stack move in real time as your code runs. It's one of the best things I've seen for making this click. Link is in the show notes along with the companion article on Medium. Next week, hoisting. You've probably heard the word and had a vague sense of what it means. But with the call stack and the execution context under your belt, hoisting is about to make complete sense for the first time. You'll want that one. I'm Alex Vega. This is Oh, That's Why. Next time you see a stack trace, don't scroll past it. That list is trying to tell you something. See you next week.